order. Today is Tuesday, September 19th. It is now 7 p.m. Town Council meeting is the Sewer Commission and Town Council Chambers, 1170 Main Street, West Warwick, Rhode Island. John, will you lead us in prayer?
Please stand. Heavenly Father, bless tonight's proceedings. Help this council to be mindful of our elected responsibilities and mindful of the people who we are elected to serve. Give us each the wisdom and the fortitude and the integrity to make decisions with compassion. Amen.
Major, listen to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilman President Goslin.
Here.
Council Vice President D'Amico.
Here.
Councilman Badula.
Here.
Councilman Messier.
Here.
Councilman Licciardi.
Here.
Participating communities: the Town of Coventry, Town of Situate, City of Cranston, City of Warwick, Town of West Greenwich. We have a quorum on record. Minutes of the previous meeting. Resolved that the minutes of the June 20th, 2017 Town Council meeting, acting as Sewer Commission, is hereby accepted.
Move the resolution.
Second the resolution.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Any public discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Reports. Plant Manager.
All set? All right. Okay. Good evening. This is a report for 3 months, and we haven't met in so long. So what you have in front of you is May, June, and July. As you can see, the average daily flow in May was 7.7, reduced to 5.8 in June and 5.1 in July, which is normal with the dry season. Efficiency, we 98.3, 199.8% for the 3 months. Suspended solids removal, 97, 99, and 100. Total nitrogen, our permit limit is 8.0. We were at 5.9, 5.3, and 5.2. Phosphorus for the 3 months, we were below the 0.1 limit. So as you can see, the plant's running very well. Collection system, we had, in May, we had 2 private lines, no public. June, no backups on either side. And in July, we had 2 on each side. Training schedule, we did do some CPR, AED training, lockout, tagout, spill prevention, and we also, as the retirement of several people at the treatment plant, we've had some new hires, so we went through a safety orientation with them. Odor complaints, it was actually very good summer, May, June, July. August, we slipped up a little bit because I know Angela's going to let me know about it. But we did have 4 in August, but May, June, and July we had no complaints, which was unusual. Again, no violations. RISE has completed the lighting project that we did down there, and I actually have a energy efficient profile that they did. This is on the treatment plant at the end of the project.
You're going, don't they? Yeah.
I think so. You got one, Mark? You don't want another one? They're free. So you can see that this is the project that they did at the treatment plant. All the lighting has been changed with the LED fixtures. The outside lighting is really huge difference, and the interior lighting. In fact, I have people complain that it's too bright now. So, but as you can see, the energy savings estimated is at about $38,000 a year. So the payback should be around 5 years, and it's a 10-year fixture warranty. So treatment plant should be good for lighting for many years. The roof work has been completed. We did receive the draft permit. We're meeting with DEM on that. And again, we have 5 new employees down there. So We've seen a big change at the treatment plant. Everybody willing to pick it up and learn as fast as they can. And just wanted to say that I'm very pleased in the way the direction of the staff is headed at the treatment plant. So that's my report.
Any questions for Bernie?
Those weren't new hirees, they were replacements.
Yeah, exactly. Retirement, new
Yep.
people coming
Right.
on.
Thank you, Bernie.
Industrial pretreatment program report.
Good evening. I didn't do 3 months, I did 2 months. I just because we haven't met during the summer months, I just try to summarize some of the activities the program undertook for the month of July and August. Over the past 2 months, the significant industrial users submitted their monthly reports. Ethide Laboratories, Immunex, and Rhodes Technology submitted their reports, and all in compliance. During the month of August is a critical month for the program. That's the month that we have to submit our annual report to DEM. The annual report is a compilation of all of the activities the program undertook during the past year. If anybody's interested, the report is online on the wastewater treatment plant site, so that we make it available for the public for their review. But just to outline some of the key elements, we do survey all of the tax records to find out if any new industries come on board. We put them on the roll. We do monitoring activities and summarize what we took place over the course of the year. We identify those that have had enforcement action taken on them, and we evaluate the effluent from all of these industries, because as you can see, the program has really been operating quite nicely in controlling the industrial discharges, because as you can see from Bernie's report, when you get 98, 99, and 100% removal, everything contributes to that factor, and controlling the industrial discharges helps that. As far as the private wastewater treatment facilities, Walmart, we're working with them. Initially, they went through the center of New England. Because of the bankruptcy procedures, we're working directly with them on their O&M manuals for their private collection system. Program is working with Westman, the private treatment plant that they purchased, on their O&M manuals. They've submitted one, it is incomplete, and we're working with them. East Greenwich Square, they did the line cleaning. They do this on a quarterly basis, and we found that based on the cleaning, that everything is quite nice at keeping the system clean, and grease and oil are not building up in the system. Over the last 2 months, we also inspected 13 restaurants excuse me, in West Warwick, one in East Greenwich, and one in Coventry. We found all of them to be in compliance, with the exception of Felipe's Twist Restaurant, Hong Kong Restaurant, Miss Cranston's Subway, and Dingy's. And then finally, as part of our program, we try to work with the new businesses coming into town. And so we've met with Tumbletown. They're going to be located at 1705 Main Street. We've worked and visited with the CSL Plasma. They're occupying the facility that was formerly Ethan Allen Furniture. Romancing the Stone is a granite facility at the center of New England, and we're working with 1060 Tollgate Road, formerly the Security Cleaners. That's all I have for pretreatment.
Any questions for Jim?
I have one. Jim, just when you go out to a restaurant and they don't pass the inspection, obviously they're going to be on the rotation for the next one, or do you skip, or
No,
how does that process
if they
work?
don't pass the, I didn't mention, but like some of these, like Hong Kong Restaurant, for example, they've been chronically violated because they haven't maintained their grease and oil trap. They get a fine. We come back the next month to see if they maintain it. We usually leave them with a task to be done, whether it's, for example, Felipe's Twist. We require them to, because it's a new facility, we didn't fine them, but every month they have to submit their cleaning of their grease trap reports. So we try to follow that. We don't leave them, and we come back to them to make sure they're complying with the regulations. You'll find a lot of these sometimes repeat offenders because they don't want to maintain the oil or grease trap.
Okay.
One thing, I'm gonna interrupt you, Jim. I just got text, 2 people. We're not live.
John's working it now.
Thank you.
Thanks, thank
You
you.
mean my whole presentation wasn't live?
You're gonna have to do it again.
Jim, can you repeat that, please?
Financial update. Year-to-date operating and debt expenses for fiscal year 2018 as of August 31st is $860,752, which is 10% of the annual budget. Cash and investments through August 31st total $3,156,819. Fiscal year 2018 sewer usage collections through August 31st totaled $1,763,688, which is 25% of the total billed. Fiscal year 2018 sewer assessment collections through August 31st totaled $208,736, which is 46% of the total billed.
Any questions for Christine? Thank you, Christine.
New business. Sewer use appeals alternate member sponsored by Councilman Padula.
Yes, I asked this to be put on the board for the council to consider putting an alternate member on that sewer appeals, because we only have 2, right now, 2. And if one don't show up, they can't conduct a meeting, and the people that come there shouldn't be sent away because we don't have another member. We have alternates for every other board, and we brought it up in a sewer subcommittee meeting, which everybody agreed that we should advertise or put up for someone that's interested in sitting as an alternate.
I don't have a problem with that.
Makes sense.
I mean, you're right, we have it on every other meeting, every other
Right.
board, so.
So they never had an alternate, and we never had problems before, but now we're starting to run in who's,
We actually had to cancel last month's meeting.
right.
Yeah.
So if we can have Mary Ann advertise an alternate for the sewer appeals board, thank you.
Resolutions, CWL resolution. Do you want me to read it, or do you just want to go right ahead and talk about it?
Move the resolution, somebody.
Yeah, I'll move the resolution.
Second the resolution.
Discussion?
Bernie's gonna explain. Bernie, I got that.
You got this one too?
Yeah.
What I just gave you is just an example of the report that we would get from this CWL. It was actually done for the city of Warwick, and I've been working with them on that. And that's part of what I came up with here tonight. Is they did an excellent job over in Warwick, and I've been talking to the subcommittee since January about doing this study. And what I'm looking to do is the CMON program was a 2007, came down from EPA, a consent order for your collection system to make sure that we're maintaining it and doing the rehab as necessary. And a lot of that's been lacking through the years. A lot of the things that we promised haven't been done. And what I'd like to do is bring this company in. It's a short term, 4 months. They'll be going out with all the employees. They'll be talking to the employees, especially with the new employees. It's a great opportunity for them to learn how to properly maintain this, how to properly inspect a manhole, clean a line, camera line. We have all the equipment. We just haven't had the opportunity or the manpower. Now with the new employees, a lot of times the older employees have a lot of vacation time and things like that, so you're always missing employees. We have the full staff of maintenance employees, so my game plan is to put, and I think I brought it up here a couple of years ago, a full-time collection system crew. So they'll be out there every day jetting the lines, cameraing the lines. doing pump station rehab. And what this is gives us an update, a quick look at it, talk to the employees, get their feeling, what they need, and then he'll come back with a report similar to what you have there.
And he's also going to give us information on how long it should take to do a job like that and how long it takes. So it's gonna
It's a time and
better,
motion study.
right, it's gonna better the plant, and this way here, it'll be more sufficient than what it already is, efficient.
Back in 2008, I have the report here from the superintendent at that time, looking to upgrade Hilltop Pump Station, which you're going to see on another resolution here shortly. But update inflow infiltration infrastructure assessment study, inspect and clean the main trunk lines, and I know that was done about 10 years ago. So the way the EPA usually looks at it is most of your small collection lines, 8-inch, should be done every 3 years, 4 years. The main trunk line should be done every 7 to 10 years, depending on what you find, of course. So that's what he will be doing, going out again with the guys. And one of the other, and I mentioned this in the past, are block-ups. In fact, we have a block-up right now. And that's where I just came from. But our backup insurance deduction claims in 2012-13 was $6,882. In 15-16, it was $66,694. So this is only going to help that. We get out there, we get the cleanings, we get the system approach where it's all computerized. They did have a GIS employee several years ago. Some of that work has been done. I've been talking to Mark, and some of that is on the computer, so hopefully we can pull that off and get this all going. So that's what this proposal is, and if there's any questions?
No, all it can do is save us money on the backups. It saves us money. We know where we're lacking, where we're not lacking, and I mean, we heard the whole spiel, and talking to other sewer authorities, this is a win-win situation for the plant.
Bernie, has this gone out to bid, or is this the only?
This was the only, what I could call professional services. And again, what I got it was from the city of Warwick.
So that's the question I have is, if we didn't officially go out to bid for it, what are we talking for an expense here again?
22,000.
22.
I mean, it should actually go out to bid at that point, shouldn't it? Anything over a certain dollar amount?
I thought it was professional, sir. I'm not sure.
Professional services avoids that?
Yeah, professional services is exempt from the bid process, although it's the prerogative of the town whether they decide to go out to bid or not. You could always go out to bid.
Is there anyone else that does that? What's his name?
I mean, I know this gentleman that's doing it was the head of the Massachusetts Water Resources Board for the city of Boston and surrounding area. So he's well qualified, and as you can see in the report, he does a very good report. So
Is there a lot of these companies that do this? Or?
I'm sure there's more of them out there. I just haven't come across them. And I know the city of Warwick is very happy with them. So
I just think if we're gonna look at, for $22,000, we should go out to bid, just to compare apples to apples.
Did Warwick go out to bid?
no.
Anybody else have anything for Bernie? How do you guys feel about going out to bid?
I think
Can't hurt to go out to bid.
I think we should. Is this crucial that it,
Does it have to be
they have to, like, what's the time frame? Is this like, do we need this done yesterday?
No, it doesn't need to be done yesterday. It's just since 2008, we've been talking about this.
Oh,
And
a little bit of time. Well, what's the
But
time? what's the
eventually,
time frame?
when something happens and the EPA comes down and says you haven't done this or you haven't done that, that's when we will pay. The The reason I would wanted to get it done now is because of the weather. If you're gonna be out inspecting sewer manholes out in the streets, and you're not gonna be doing that in January and February. So you either do it now or you do it in the spring. But if there's any recommendations that I need to put through for budget, now's the time for next year. If I wait till February, March, it's gonna be too late for the budget season.
My question is, they know EPA was on all the sewer departments to do this, and no one else ever approached any sewer departments, and I'm sure Warwick, if they did, we would've had backup bids and see what was going on, so, I mean, it's the council's pleasure.
You do actually have the option of piggybacking an existing bid. If you find Warwick or another community did actually go through a bid process,
Warwick's was a lot more.
you actually have
Well,
that
is there
opportunity,
a
as long as it's apples to apples.
Yeah, I don't think they went out to bid.
Any other community,
Okay,
you do have that option to piggyback.
okay.
So what's the council feel? Yes or no to out to bid?
What's the time frame if you were to go out to bid with this?
At least 30 days, because you're gonna figure they only meet next month. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta write the bid spec, get it out to bid. Yeah,
You're gonna be into October,
November.
So
So
it
next
won't be
year-
until the
next year.
spring, right?
Well, I mean, if one backup, you're gonna pay daily. He just said 1 year, 66, 2 years, 66,000.
Yeah, it'll cost us more money that way.
Right, so penny wise and dollar
I
foolish.
mean, I just think the sooner we get started at it, and again,
Yeah.
we should have done it years
I
ago,
agree.
but
Go forward with that.
All right,
That's my-
so
that's my
professional
opinion.
services do not need to go out to bid. Okay.
They're exempt under statute.
I'll make a motion to, award, what's the name again, Bernie, please?
CWL.
CWL, the, contract for $22,000.
I second.
Moving second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed.
3-2.
Who's on opposed?
Jay and I.
Just check.
Oh.
Are you opposed?
Engineering services contract extension.
This is the,
Is that a resolution?
Yes.
I move the resolution. Need a second.
I'll
Second.
second.
Discussion, Bernie?
this was a 3-year proposal for engineering services pretreatment program for West Warwick. It was awarded in 2014 with a option for an additional 3 years. So the 3 years will begin on November 1st. And it's to James Jeremiah and Associates, and they've agreed to keep the price the same for the next 3 years. So it's basically what we have had for the last 3 years.
Any questions for Bernie on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations, Jim.
Another-
He's done a fine job all these years that I've been on the
I
council.
think he's older than the 100th centennial.
Might have been around since then, I don't know.
No, I gotta say, I work with Jim hand in hand, and believe me, I would say if it wasn't true, but Jim's always helpful. He does a lot for the sewer department. A lot of things that in the back doors that he don't even bring up what he's done, and I know firsthand, and Jim, I thank you for that. I realize what you do.
Thank you.
Request for fund transfer for upcoming Hilltop pump station upgrade.
Move the resolution.
Second resolution.
Moving seconded, Bernie?
Again, this was actually brought up in 2009 in the CMON report. The upgrade of Hilltop Pump Station's been put off every year. We do have the new condominiums going up in the area. There's 17 at Wakefield condominiums and 50 at the Hilltop condominiums. Not sure when they'll all take place, but so there is a need to update this pump station. It's 40 years old. We just put $10,000. If you ever drive by this pump station, we've had generator issues there for several years, and we just actually put temporary $10,000 into the generator. The controls are again, are 40 years old, the pumps are 40 years old. And we also have and this was prior to me, but there's a $3,000 assessment for each one of those condo units for the upgrade of Hilltop Pump Station. So what I'm asking for here is this is a projection that Jim Jeremiah did when he did the specs are already been done for this about a year ago.
But, as I brought up in the subcommittee meeting, if I'm not mistaken, I was on the planning board in '05. When Hilltop, when they first started that, they paid tens of thousands of dollars to upgrade that. Did we find out exactly if it was $150,000 that went into our fund?
I haven't been able to find that.
Well, yeah,
I know
mean,
there's
if
an
you look
assessment.
back- If you look back into the minutes, there was they were paying us an upgrade. It was 50,000, then 100,000. And again,
Is
I don't
that for-
remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. I brought it up at the sewer committee meeting, that there was tens of thousands of dollars that was collected. And the developer then was, what'd they call him? And who was the other one, Jim? Yeah. Do you recall how much money was charged to that?
This goes back, I'm a historian now.
Yeah.
Actually, the Hilltop Pump Station that Bernie's referring to was a private pump station. It was the condominium association owned that station. Then at the time when the developer came in, it was Larry LeBlanc. He came in and he started this expansion. DePrete Engineering was the engineer of record on that project. And what they ended up doing was upgrading. They spent the money to upgrade the treatment plant. They didn't give the money to the town. They spent it and upgraded it and then turned it over to the town. Probably not a good thing to take it over because it was an old station, and the condominium association put it in as part of their station. Through the years, it's now been the treatment plant's responsibility to operate and maintain this through the years. When Hilltop Estates, when that whole project came in, it was brought about by when the Brookfield Hills pumping station needed to be upgraded. And both that whole area contributes flow to, it goes from Hilltop to Brookfield and then to the plant. And at the time, I think it was in 2007, when we had the floods in, was it Janet Street and all in the back area of where the Brookfield area is, that pump station was rebuilt. An assessment in the ordinance, there's an assessment for everybody that contributes to that pump station to be used for that pump station or the adjoining pump station. So that's that's where that fund is. What it is, I don't know, and I don't know.
Even phase 3, when they were in phase 1, phase 2, I understand that. But in phase 3, wasn't there an agreement that they were gonna pay $50,000 or $60,000?
There was a one-time agreement. There was a one-time payment. I think I want to 35 to 50,000 is what I remember. I think the town manager was Wolfgang Bauer at the time, so that's kind of how I place things.
Did we ever collect that? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think we did, but I can't attest to that.
So I've heard 5 different numbers now, 35, 50, 150, 100.
And,
So how much did
Hilltop, from my understanding, with the final number, they paid there was an initial contribution for the Hilltop pump station. I thought it was between $35,000 and $50,000, and that was the initial one because the first phase went in prior to the upgrades. The second phase is when he made a one-time contribution. The third phases were part of the $300 and $3,500 because we didn't know when they were going to come in because they were talking about selling it. You know how developers go with that. So that's what I can share to that.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions for Bernie? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Consent agenda, resolved that the consent agenda having been posted, all matters have been referred to proper departments and being disposed of or awaiting recommendations, the same is hereby approved.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moving second, any discussion? Any public discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public comment? No public comment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
5-minute recess until Mary Ann gets set up.
Thanks, guys.